Hey everyone, it's Charles with Consulting with Smart Money, and you are here today with me because you obviously trusted in our VA service. So, part of that service, we're going to deliver you a VA mastery course. We're going to be going over everything that I know that I've encountered with having a virtual assistant in my personal life and in my business life. And over 6 modules, I'm going to take you through all the steps. And so by the end of all 6 modules, you'll know how to do everything pertaining with how to utilize and scale your business, how to relieve some of your personal time, how to hire a virtual assistant, where do you find these virtual assistants, and how to onboard. So, with that being said, I'm not going to hold y'all time up. I'm gonna go right into it and see y'all at module 1. So, module 1, how to understand and leverage a virtual assistant. Well, first, I think we should start with what is a virtual assistant. Of course, I know that y'all are already here because you got the virtual assistant service, but I want you to realize that you've already been using virtual assistants prior to working with Smart Money. Virtual assistants comes in many shapes, many forms. On your computer, you've been working with them, the little chat bots, Siri, Google Play. Those are also types of virtual assistants that you may have noticed or may not have noticed that you've been already utilizing, but that's not what we're talking about. For those who do not know, that's not what we're talking about. We're about talking about a human person that's working pretty much remotely. So a virtual assistant to me is someone who provides a service remotely. A lot of the virtual assistants that I work with are provide their service in a different country. You can have virtual assistants in the United States or in your same countries, but the ones that I like to work with are definitely in another country. Um, for me, also as well, I like to utilize my virtual assistant as a personal assistant. Um, if I can give them instructions over email, or if they can do the task over the internet, I'm going to have them do it. Sometimes, a lot of times, I have a set structure for them, but also a lot of times I can call them on the fly and utilize them as my personal assistant. And when you're working with a virtual assistant, you got to establish lines of communication. So that is very important when you have yourself a virtual assistant. Are you going to be communicating through Skype, email, WhatsApp, Discord, anything that you decide to use or you feel comfortable using as as forms of your communication? And then also a VA. A VA is the same thing as a virtual assistant. So when I refer to a virtual assistant as a VA, that's what I'm talking about. So don't let that go over your head and don't think too deep. So when we're talking about a VA, that's what we're talking about, a virtual assistant. So when we talk about these virtual assistants, um, you want to know what kind of benefits that they're going to bring to the table, and I have a list, and the benefits are endless to me, but I will give you a few that I feel that are strongest. And number one is going to be cost efficiency. Now, when you're hiring a virtual assistant, to me, this is the main reason why you do this, because you can scale, or the cost of a virtual assistant is significantly lower than hiring somebody from the States or hiring somebody that's local, right? We're talking about salaries ranging from $2 an hour all the way up to about $10 an hour. And I always tell people you get what you spend for, right? You get what you pay for. So if you're going to be getting virtual assistants, a VA at $2 an hour, you're going to get what you pay for. Not saying that I have not used a virtual assistant at $2 an hour and that it was effective. Yes, they were. But a lot of times out of 10, they're not going to be as skilled. But around the range of my VAs, we start out at $3.50 an hour, and we pretty much guarantee them after a month or so $4 an hour, which is pretty much $80 a week part time. So that cost efficiency right there, $80 a week for 20 hours. I mean, you cannot beat that anywhere. This is how a lot of these companies are getting by. They've been doing it since we were little kids when we had the call centers over in India. Now just everybody kind of knows what's going on. And so the cost efficiency, it just makes sense. You're able to, keep a lot of your profits because you don't have a lot of money going out and paying the wages to your employees. So cost efficiency is definitely number one on my list as to the benefits of having a virtual assistant. Then you have the flexibility. With them working on opposite hours of us, a 12-hour shift or a 12-hour time zone difference, flexibility of them coming or working different hours is just magnificent. So for those who have those call services or need 24-hour support, I mean the flexibility is what you're going to be looking for in that kind of situation. Um, Diverse skill set. Uh, you don't have to go hire a virtual assistant, a VA for each task that needs to be done. I mean, this is one of the great benefits. I probably should have put this as number two, the diverse skill sets, because when I hire my VAs, they're going to be able to do multiple things throughout the day. They're not going to just be you don't need a VA to do a whole bunch a different task for each. You don't need a VA for each task. So with the diverse skill set, I mean, literally, they're handling multiple divisions in your company without having to hire a bunch of multiple people. I think that's a big thing. You're definitely going to have increased productivity, especially if you're hiring multiple VAs. If you're trying to scale, that's the whole purpose of having a virtual assistant, is be able to increase the productivity. So if you're not able to get anything done because you have a different 9 to 5, or you're just tied down and bogged down by family life, well, your productivity just went from 0 to 100 uh, in just one hire, right? Because now that virtual assistant allows you to be two places at one time. So while you're at work or while you're with your family, business is still rolling. Your virtual assistant still has everything going while you're away. So the productivity is while you're here. So with the cost efficiency and productivity together, I mean, this is a win-win situation. And I think that's also a big benefit to having a virtual assistant. Um, the 24/7 availability, local market research, marketing support, document management, lead management, risk mitigation, uh, those type of things that your VA can keep organized. Your leads, as the leads come in, as they cold call for your leads, they can manage the leads on the CRM. For risk mitigation, as for those starting your business or people who are entrepreneurs and you're looking to just start out, well, you don't have to go hire somebody at $15 an hour because you need help. So this is why you go hire a virtual assistant, because the risk mitigation, you don't have to spend all that money up front while you're building and trying to figure things out on the front end. You're not spending as much money when you have this virtual assistant. So with the cost efficiency and the flexibility and the multiple skill sets, I mean, the benefits are endless with the lead generation, the research. I mean, you're going to get a lot of stuff done um, when operating with a virtual assistant. So when you're operating with these virtual assistants, you got to think like, okay, what type of virtual assistant am I going to have, right? So with that being said, you have two types of virtual assistants. Me personally, I like to get the VAs that are generalized. So your generalized VAs are going to come in. They're going to be the ones that's going to do your email management, calendar management, social media, customer support, research, data entry, basic accounting, and travel arrangements. Um, the general VAs are the ones that I like to work with. They come in and they're going to do. When I was talking about the diverse skill set, they're going to come in and be able to do an array of things, um, an array of tasks versus the other VAs that are just going to come in and want to do a specialized task. So with that being said, you have the other VAs, other type of virtual assistant, which is going to be a specialized VA. Those are the ones that are going to come in and do your SEO, your e-commerce, project management, content creation, social media, advertising, email marketing, graphic design, and website management. I don't particularly hire those VAs to my agency for the simple fact that I personally like the general VAs because they're going to just come in and just do whatever task that you have for them for the day. If you can give them instructions, they're going to be able to do it. The specialized VAs are coming to do the specific tasks that you hired them for, right? So they're not going to be there booking your travel arrangements, doing cold calls, um, lead generation. No, if you have them for doing building websites, pretty much that's what they're going to do all day, every day for you is build websites. If you have them managing your social media, a lot of them will just that's all they're coming to do is just manage your social media. So I think that is also a big thing. Um, with having your VA. So with that said, I think I want to go to a testimonial with Twan, a case study. He was newly introduced to having a VA, and so he didn't have a lot of understanding of what a VA was. Once he got the concept, then it just opened up the doors and opened up his eyes to the endless possibilities. So I think that will give a real insight of how if you really can put your mind to it and really want to put the work in up front, I think it'll be a beautiful thing on the back end. So let's go to Twan in the interview, and then after that, I'll meet y'all over for module 2, and we'll lock back in. All right, talk to y'all. Of a VA or a virtual assistant, have you ever heard of anything like that?
I mean, I think I've heard of it, but I still didn't. I mean, it didn't register. No, not no, not seriously. Yeah.
So pretty much not even knowing or understanding the concept of a VA. And then, I kind of broke it down to you because, I did see that you had a lot of things on your plate. And, and I did see that you did want to, hey, take off because you was taking the real estate thing serious, but you would get pulled in so many directions. Yeah. And so then you got introduced to the VA thing. And then where did your mind go then? Like, once you got introduced to it, the concept of having a virtual assistant, and then where did your mind go then?
My only thought was sky's the limit. I'm like, okay, well, if I can have her doing this, I could be doing this on this side, and I can make all this work.
So your biggest thing was prior for you was
timing. Not enough time in the day.
Not enough time in the day. And you know, for people who don't know, smart money, consulting with smart money, our biggest thing with our clients is to help them reclaim their time back. And we also want to help them have a better work-life integration, because you know, when you're being an entrepreneur and you're being a business a business professional, you have to balance the business life and personal life. I know you got a son, he's playing football. Like you said, you're a husband, so you got to maintain, you know, being a great husband to your wife, and then you got your businesses going. So tell me how Roma, right? Because we're going to talk about Roma is his VA. So tell me us implementing Roma into your work-life situation, and how has that helped?
I look at Roma as being a blessing to my situation because, you know, like I said, I can get up in the morning. She comes, she signs on. She let me know that she's at work. She able to make phone calls. She able to send messages out while I do whatever I have to do. Come back, and we work together. And I'm, you know, she's still there, and we just communicate real well together. You know, thought it might have been like at first, you know, thinking like, okay, well, you know, this might be a little strenuous, but it all worked out, man. It wasn't hard at all. You know, like I said, a blessing would be that because she's able to take on a lot that what me not having to do, you know, with my timing of the day, you know, as far as like you said, football practice, my dogs, man, coming home to cook and things like that.
So she's able to handle a lot of the brunt work for the day-to-day for your real estate ventures, right?
Yes.
So you know, she's pulling lists for you, she's making the cold calls, she's monitoring the CRM for you. And then you know, you go handle your stuff for during the day, and then you know, before her shifts, you know, you're coming back, you're working with her, y'all putting together offers, and I actually work on the back end with Roma with a lot of stuff situation that she's handling for you. And I mean, every time she comes back and you know, she shows me what y'all got going on, I'm just amazed how much progress that y'all have gotten done so far.